A tragic and insane story is going viral on the internet after a woman by the name of Jennifer Sheffield was murdered by her ex-husband just 2 weeks after posting a video online praising him for his response to her wanting to get a divorce. Absolutely insane and tragic, but what's even more insane is how people are responding to this online, many of whom even justifying the actions of her ex-husband who took her life and then took his own. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.
All right, today we're going to be talking about Jennifer Sheffield, and we're going to get straight into a video that she posted on December 10th on TikTok, where she's actually talking about her relationship with her going-to-be ex-husband as she's filing for divorce, and she's praising him, saying that he's handling the situation really well. Of course, this doesn't end well, as Jennifer's life is taken by her ex-husband in an apparent murder-suicide. He shot her and then shot himself. Let's watch her video.
So, about to be a newly single mom, and I am in the middle of a divorce. My husband is being incredible though, like really and truly, like we're working together, everything's great, we're splitting everything down the middle, like, you know, everything is good. It is a very civil divorce with our daughter in mind, and I really appreciate that. However, you know, I'm gonna be a mom, single income right now, and he will be helping with her, he will be supporting her, you know, so essentially, like, I'm really thankful for that, and that I will not have to worry so much about supporting her. However, I will be on a very limited income, with buying a new house and, you know, paying a mortgage and all that stuff. So, I've never done this before. I've never been on my own before. So if you have any tips, saving money, making money, anything like that, like, I would really appreciate it. Like, you know, coffee at home, you know, I take caffeine pills, I do my own hair, nails, everything. Like, I do all that. So yeah, if you just have any tips, like, I would really appreciate it, because, like, I'm a little scared right now.
All right, so that's the video in question that's currently going viral. Now, it seems like her, being Jennifer, and Brandon Sheffield had 2 daughters, now only 1 daughter between the 2 of them. I don't know if the second daughter was Brandon's or hers. I believe the daughter was Brandon's, given that the last name for both daughters is Sheffield. But nonetheless, the daughter that they shared is now orphaned, as the mother and father are dead. And it's just absolutely insane to watch this play out online and watch these videos go viral. And I actually took some time to look into her account on TikTok. She posted a lot of just like household videos, getting ready, her time working in the medical field, being a band mom for one of her daughters, a lot of very upbeat, positive videos that of course led up to her video explaining that she was going to be a single parent. Now, what's crazy about this is obviously the storyline of her posting this video praising her husband and then him going on to take her life and his own. But what's even wilder than that is the responses that I'm seeing online, particularly from men that are justifying the actions of this husband and explaining that with the way he felt over their divorce and the possibility of losing custody, that it made sense that he took this action against Jennifer Sheffield, taking her life. Let's read some of the tweets that I found here. This is Richard Cooper, who says she's taking the kids and him for everything he's worth. I guarantee that's why he did this. What women do and say are often very different. Sad outcome. Now, what's wild about this is there is absolutely no evidence that exists on the internet in any sort of reporting that Jennifer Sheffield was attempting to take away the kids from this man. In fact, if we go based off of the singular video that we have about their relationship, she explains that he's doing really well during the divorce and that he intends to take care of the daughter that they share and has been doing so through this tumultuous time period. Now, if she was planning to take custody away from her husband, would she make a video online explaining just how wonderfully he's taking the process of divorce and how wonderfully he's taking care of their child? I don't think so. But thanks for your input, Richard. To which Gia McCool responds, and this is a woman. She responds to this, correct. It's why she went to social media for validation. Now, I'll be the first to say I'm not a fan of people going on social media, airing out their dirty laundry for the public, but it didn't seem as though she was doing that for validation. It seemed as though she was very clearly asking for advice from people online who may have been through a similar situation before. And it's interesting that people are choosing to project their own personal biases onto this story where we have little to no information. All we have is this video from Jennifer Sheffield, her previous posts on the internet, whatever Brandon has previously posted on the internet, and the reporting that they have both died in this murder-suicide. Now, I'll look to previous posts from Jennifer Sheffield where she has asked her audience and those on TikTok for advice. Let's take a look at this one.
All right, so I do need some more advice now. Update on my last video. I have been hearing from God. And now that I'm feeling God's presence, it's like, bam, out of nowhere, just something happens. Like, is this a good thing? Is this like, I need some words of encouragement here. Like, does this mean I'm doing something right? That, like, I've opened up my heart, I've opened up my mind to listen to God, and I feel like he has been talking to me. Not as loud as normal, but like he's been talking, and then just literally out of nowhere. Oh, and I destroyed my finger. Like, this is good, right? Like, the devil is after me because I'm walking with God. I'm doing the best I can, and then, right? Like, please help. I know TikTok has all the answers to literally everything. So, just words of encouragement, please.
Now, I don't know her situation, but very interesting that a little over a month and a half after this, her life would be taken. Clearly, she was struggling with something in her life. We don't know what that video was about, but it's astounding to watch this play out and people justify the actions of the man. And we're going to read more of these responses. Jeff Younger, who is actually a man who has gone through his own custody battle. And I'll explain Jeff Younger's situation very briefly. He had a child that was pushed to transition by the mother in their family dynamic. Now, he fought for custody of that child. He lost custody of his children because of this battle over transgender ideology and gender theory. I feel really bad for Jeff Younger and his struggle to get his kids and be a father there for them. And he now says not only are his kids lost as far as custody, but he will not go through the supervised visitation that he's been granted by the court because he doesn't want that dynamic to be present within his family. I understand his struggle. I understand what he's been through, but he's now projecting his struggle onto this situation where a woman had her life taken, and then the husband and father went on to take his own life, leaving these kids orphaned. Jeff Younger tweets out, "She was taking the kids," in response to this video. Again, another justification of the actions of this man. We'll read some more tweets. This guy says you can't take half a man's life and earnings and then think everything is okay. Sad case, man, with a facepalm emoji. Jay says, see how some women are? About to be a newly single mother, like man, already trying to put herself on the market. Kwame says, till death do us apart. Someone forgot about their oath. She tried so hard not to smile about the entire thing, the whole video. Women, ... Oh, here's another one. The internet has ruined women. I think something did ruin this woman and her life, and it didn't happen to be the internet. It happened to be the man that she chose to marry, the man that she was in the process of divorcing from. And I don't know the reason for the divorce from this man. Anything I would say in that matter is speculation. But it's very interesting that on the other end of filing for divorce, this man tried to successfully took her life and then took his own. And if we're being logical here, do you guys not think there were signs of this sort of behavior maybe underlying in this man and in his activity throughout their marriage and throughout their relationship? Do you not think that maybe he had some inner turmoil happening within him that maybe led to this murder-suicide on the other end of the divorce? I don't think all of a sudden this perfect, wonderful man just woke up and decided to take this woman's life and then take his own. But that's just me. And what's happening, I think, in these tweets, which we'll read another one here because this really exemplifies what I'm talking about. tragedy. Don't get married, brothers. Never give women the ability to destroy all you have built. You don't need a permission slip from the government to love someone. And one more, this is how you fix marriage. Bring back consequences. Now, what's happening here, at least in my opinion, is that these are men in particular, and in some women in these cases, who are very deeply entrenched in red pill ideology, which in a lot of ways places a lot of blame on women in these particular situations, especially when it comes to child custody and family court and the subject matter of divorce. And even though they have absolutely no details as to what is happening in the divorce between these two individuals, they are projecting what they believe to be happening that is reinforced by their own ideology onto the situation and justifying the actions of a man. Now, I don't know why somebody needs to sit you down and tell you this, but it is never justified to take the life of the mother of your children and then take your own life, leaving your children completely vulnerable and orphaned in a situation that where it least seems both parties could have been reasonable. I don't know this woman and I don't know this man, so I cannot speculate as to what was happening within their marriage that led her to want to leave. But it does seem that in going through her TikTok, she had a deep love for her child, for her children. She wanted to be in their lives. She wanted the best for them. She was on her way to pursuing a medical degree and wanting to become a doctor. She was working within the medical system. It seemed like she had an energy that wanted to do a lot of good for this world. And now all of that is gone. All of that is taken away. A mother is taken away from a child. A father is taken away from a child. And if you are a man who's in the throes of a divorce, and even if you feel like this woman is coming after everything you've owned and coming after your children, which does not seem to be the case in this particular case, we have no evidence of that whatsoever, why not exhaust your legal means and go through that process before ever thinking about taking the life of another individual and leaving your children orphaned? I literally cannot believe that this has to be said out loud. And I was astounded. You know, at first I saw a couple comments about this woman, people justifying what happened to her. And then I saw one after the other. And these are not little anonymous tweets from accounts that have 1 or 2 likes on them. I'm talking thousands of likes, hundreds of people in the comments down below agreeing, justifying, saying that this is the way that the system is set up to benefit women. Whatever the case may be, as far as those arguments, it does not justify taking the life of a young mother and leaving children orphaned. Crazy, again, that I have to make this video and talk about this whatsoever. I understand that a lot of men and women out there are dealing with hurt. They are deeply entrenched in the idea that relationships and our systems are broken here in this country and in the West in general. Again, it does not justify this. And if this is how you process your hurt, your anger, your despondence when it comes to how things are currently set up or how women are currently acting in society, the newsflash is you have a lot of work to do. And you can project that out and say that women need to do the work, or the internet's wrong with the world, or this is what is destroying marriages and people need to see consequences. Or you can deal with what you are struggling through internally. To be honest, it feels like we have lost our ever-loving minds. And I felt this for a really long time, as we've seen people on the internet really boldly justify heinous acts because of their ideology. We saw it with the Titanic submersible and those billionaires who lost their lives being crushed at the bottom of the ocean. We've seen it with the United Healthcare CEO. And now we're watching it with this young mother who had her life taken prematurely when she had so much left to do. And it's people taking their own personal bias, their political leanings, their own agenda, projecting it out onto the world, making people into villains, categorizing them in that light, and then justifying any horrible thing that happens to them on the other end of that categorization. And you guys are wrong. We are going to lose all of our humanity. We are going to lose all of our connection to one another if we just continue to funnel ourselves down into these echo chambers while pointing out to other people and justifying the horrible things that happen to them. Meanwhile, forgetting the actual victims in this case, which are the mother and the daughters who are now going to be motherless and fatherless. But yeah, it's about child custody, right? And really, guys, I don't know what else there is to possibly say about this. I'm curious if there's going to be any dispute of the claims and arguments that I've made in the comments down below. If so, please drop a comment. Please expose yourselves. If this is how you feel, and if you second the messages that we've read in this video about this young woman. And with that, instead of leaving with a message from me, I'm going to leave you with a message from Jennifer Sheffield that was posted on her TikTok. I'll let her close out today's video.
If you're seeing this right now, I hope you have a beautiful day. And I had this feeling this morning for some reason to tell you that it's gonna be okay. And that if you woke up this morning, which clearly you did, that you still have a purpose. You still have things to do. No matter what situation you're going through and no matter how hard it is, you've got to keep pushing. You still have a heartbeat. And that means that you've got to keep going. You have a purpose. And I hope you realize that today. You have so many things to be thankful for, whether it's just the fact that you have breath in your lungs or that you have a heartbeat.